Alright everybody, so today we're going to do a vegan Q&A. So I'm going to take some of the questions I got on my Instagram. If you want to check out my Instagram, it's at David Cleary Vegan PT. I'll leave the link below, and we're just going to cover some questions that I got and give my response to them. Best bacon alternative. So to be honest, I never really ate bacon, and if you watch my video on my journey to veganism, you'll see why. So it's not something I really remember consuming too much, but I have come across some pretty good vegan alternatives. Probably the best one I've come across is one from Lidl, and they released that as kind of a limited edition vegan bacon strips. That was pretty good, so that's kind of the only one I can recommend at the minute. Okay, so next up we have what's the best way to peel a banana, and there's lots of controversy around this, what is the best way, from which end, etc. But for me, I actually do this, where I chop off both ends with a knife, and then I just kind of slice down the banana and peel it open, and then drop that into my smoothie or my breakfast bowl, whatever I'm having. So yeah, a little bit unorthodox, but that's how I do it. Okay, so next up we have filling snack ideas. So what would I recommend? So with this, if you're looking for something to fill you up a little bit longer, try and get something that has a mix of all macronutrients. So what I mean by that is it's not just a piece of fruit, which is obviously higher in carbs and lower in protein and fat. So I tend to recommend something that has a boost in both protein and fats. So maybe something like roasted chickpeas, roasted edamame beans, or also something that's a bit higher in fat, like dates with peanut butter. That will satisfy you for longer and be a bit more filling than just something like a banana on its own. That's what I recommend. Okay, so next up we have, if you're on death row, what would you choose as your last meal? Okay, so with that, I'd probably go for like a variety of vegan burgers. I've always enjoyed burgers even before I went vegan, and it's still the same now. So maybe something like, I've had like a tempeh burger that was battered in kind of cornflakes. That's probably my number one vegan burger at the minute, but also something like a Beyond Burger, that would be pretty good as well. So yeah, variety of vegan burgers for me. Okay, so next up we have, what is the best time to drink a protein shake? So again, with that, there's no exact time. You know, I tend to use it when maybe I have a meal that's slightly lower in protein and I want to boost it, or when it's just more convenient for me to have a protein shake. So I don't have any set times. I know people will use pre or post workout, and that's fine if that's a time where you need it, when maybe you're on the go, you don't have time to prepare a meal, maybe add it into a smoothie or whatever. So that's fine, but overall what matters is our overall protein intake in that day. So that's kind of what I focus on, and I just add the protein powder where I need it during the day. Okay, so next up, this is again a popular one. Where can I find TVP? So TVP is textured vegetable protein, and it's actually been around for quite some time. You probably heard it as like soy chunks or soy meats, but it's kind of evolved over the years, and now you can get TVP made from a variety of different plant proteins. So most supermarkets, at least in the US and Europe, will carry some version of it, so you can find it there in the dried section, normally around where you'd find stuff like chickpeas, dried black beans, stuff like that. If you can't find it there, normally Amazon will have it, or also health food stores tend to carry it as well. Also stay tuned, as I'm launching my own TVP brand this year. Okay, so next up we have, why do some brands promote themselves as soy-free? So what brands are doing here is they tend to play on people's fears around soy and kind of spin that as a positive, that their brand has no soy in it. But there's no issue around soy, and a lot of that is just untrue and unfounded, where you've got people coming out against it. Soy is completely fine and healthy to consume. So that's all brands are doing there, is just trying to play on those fears. Okay, so next up we have your best pre-workout smoothie. So with that, I tend to use something like a mocha style smoothie, where I've got some coffee, so that's iced coffee or cold brew coffee, and I've got some cacao powder in there as well, normally with something like banana, soy milk, maybe some dates. So that tends to be what I do, because you get that boost from both the coffee and the cacao powder as well. It's a nice little pre-workout boost, so that's what I would go for.